Hello ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, welcome to this week's episode of One Man and His Boat. Hello guys, and a very warm welcome indeed to this week's episode, and thank you very much for joining us. Now, what's in this week's episode? Well, we're going to give the Lynsey B a little shakedown. Right, so next week there's a big easterly coming, and I'm not going to shoot the gear because the gear is still new, and if we put it in the water it takes up to 2 weeks to actually soak and get heavy enough to sink to the bottom as is. So that means they're floaty or light, and if there's a swell there, all we're going to get is trouble with balling up and all the rest of it. So that's why I'm not shooting gear yet. But in the meantime, we can test out the Lynsey B, we can see if there's any problems going to arise after our 7-month layup. Hello everyone, how you all doing? Well, Jeff and I have just done our first live stream, and oh my god, I was absolutely crapping myself. I wanted to talk to you all about very important news that's happened to the Scottish fisheries at this minute in time. Now, on the 2nd of May, we actually got an email from the Scottish Government, and something's happened that has absolutely dumbfounded us, because technically we didn't know it was happening. Well, we had heard whispers, but nothing dead cert. Now, the Scottish Government have now given us 10 days, so the 12th of May, we shall not be allowed to land berry hens for lobsters, crabs and velvet crabs, which is absolutely fantastic for Scottish sustainability. Yes, most of the men are quite in agreement with it. However, there's problems. I mean, I should be jumping up and doing the deck saying at long last we're seeing sense. However, we have just seen a 7-month winter, and I'm not joking, guys. I have never seen a winter like this. Men that have been on this planet 80 years have never seen a winter like this. Now, what's happened is all the men have used up all the money that they made from the year before on buying new gear, making new gear after Storm Babette and all the storms that followed after that. And for the amount of days that have been at sea, I mean, you can count on 2 hands how many days they were out in these 7 months. Now, how does that keep the wolf at the door? It doesn't. Basically, you dive into your savings until there's nothing left. And then that's actually the state that we're in at the minute with one man and his boat. So I'm dying to get to sea, but I can't because we've got this easterly that's coming. Yes, that's going to be all right. So on. I was expecting it, that's why I wasn't shorting any gear. So I'm hoping after this, then we'll be able to go out to sea, get some gear shot and get some money coming in. As for the rest of the men, well, I feel sorry for them because they've pumped everything into their livelihoods, and there's no financial help from the government. That's what we need the most, is financial help. When we get winters like this, farmers get, no offence to farmers, because farmers do a wonderful thing, just like us. They put food on your table, they do everything that they should do to supply the good British people with food on their table, and they're able to get subsidies. Why can't fishermen? I mean, all that's going to happen now is men are going to stick extra gear in to actually compensate for not being able to land the berry hens. And to me, that's what should have been addressed first, is the amount of gear. Then they should have talked to the scientists and the stakeholders, us, basically the fishermen, to say that, well, where do you think it should go for here, guys? Because our produce buyer that buys our lobsters from us, he reckons what should happen is at the height of the season when they're laying all these eggs, because the eggs turn red at a certain time of year, it's just stop that fishery of landing the berry hens at that time of year, let them shed their eggs, and then you can fish for them in the winter. I mean, that makes perfect sense. However, yeah, it's going to take, I reckon there's going to be a few boats up for sale, a few businesses lost, and it's a shame because we're losing a heritage that we've got our God-given right to fish. Right, anyway, I'm going to stop talking now because Jeff just went across there with the drone. He's just waving me, so I better get on with things. Right, guys, I've slavoured enough. I'll speak to you in a minute. We're going out for a little sail, and it's a glorious day for it. Hiya, how you doing? Hey, it isn't half. Nice to see you doing, Anne. Nice to see you down. Aye. What, this one? Yeah. Ah, for sure, for sure. No, we're going to have a run up and down the harbour, go stretch our legs. I've got Jeff with the drone in the air. So we're actually making Saturday's vlog. Okay then, pal. I certainly do. Nice to actually meet you in person for a change. Now, you too, pal. Cheerio. That was Anne, one of our top fans. Hello, Graham. Now what I'm doing is I'm checking all the dials to make sure all pressures are correct. Everything was topped up, but lying over winter time, what will happen is your things will go amiss. I mean, before I actually came out here, I was actually tightening up the diesel because she must have slackened off and she was starting to breathe. So there was a couple of nuts that were actually loose, so they're now tightened up, and that's what these tests are for. We're just going to run up and down the harbour once or twice, and then we're going outside for a little trial, see what's going on. Hopefully the boat's going to behave itself, and hopefully we're going to have a nice smooth season ahead. If anybody knows boats, that ain't going to happen. Right, shall we try outside? Oh, this is it. This is it, guys. Do you see the smile on this face? Oh, this is great to be back out, I swear to God. It has been a long winter. Just that lift of the sea, the cool breeze. I'm a man in a happy place, I can assure you. All we need now is Creels aboard. Oh, I've certainly missed this. What we're going to do is just spin round to the end of the Scat Rocks and back up again. We're not going to stay out for long. Didn't want to push her too much, I want to get back and check the engine, make sure everything's okay. Dials and that are saying everything's hunky-dory, so that's a good sign. I mean, she was serviced before she came out of the water and she was winterised as well, so we're all good to go, I hope. Oh, life on the ocean waves. comes. Now guys, some of the reason that I have for no staying out here and playing a lot longer is because there's no other vessels out here, and you know how I feel about that. You never take risks at the sea, and we're certainly not going to do that. So back to the harbour bound, I'm afraid. But it's been a good tester, the boat seems to be doing well. Quite happy with everything, so happy days. Right guys, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go and open the bridge and we're going to take her back through. Sorry, you'll hear me huffing and puffing in a minute, guys. The magic key. Excuse me, mate. Can't hear me. Do you see all right?
But the time the water's full of rats. Yeah, but you get to like meet new people.
That's a new creaking sound I've never heard before. Right, so that's the bridge up, guys. Now what I've got to do is go back to the boat, get the boat through. We're going to land here, then I have to put the bridge back down. Now back in the day, that thing used to be hand cranked, and could you imagine a 10-year-old trying to lift a bridge like that? That's what my father used to make me do. It was all good fun at the time. But that's why if you did let go of that handle as the bridge was going down, because it had counterweights on it before, then you can forget about it. I'll try and make this quick. You see all the boats as we're passing. How are we doing, Baz? All right, sir? You keeping healthy? Just stretching our legs a wee bit, Paul. Boing. Yep. I thought you said you were professional, you should have your camera around the other way. Right guys, one of the reasons why we were a little bit later to actually doing all these tests was I was waiting on the EPIRB getting serviced. My EPIRB and PLB was sent to Spares Marine, and unfortunately they were waiting on parts coming in, so that took up to 2 weeks to get the parts to their place. Then they got it shipped up very quickly. Once they got that part, it was here the very next day. So that's the kind of thing that we're waiting on. The EPIRB is so important to boat safety these days. The MC love them, the MC want them on every single boat. They're very expensive indeed, however, they will save lives. And for son? Exactly.
Nobody knows.
We've all got to have them, but nobody knows exactly what it means. Now, I've got it written down here. It is an electronic position indication radio beacon. There you have it. That's what an EPIRB is. Now, I know what a PLB is, a personal location beacon. That's on your life jacket, and they both do the exact same thing. They send a signal up to the satellite and give you an actual coordinate where you are at sea if you should get into trouble. So there we have it guys, our journey's end, and it was a good journey. I'm away to check out the engine to make sure everything's all tickety-boo down there after I tie the ropes up obviously. And I just wanted to give a big shout out to everybody watching this vlog, and thank you all very much for all your kind donations. And a big thank you to our Rowan, who's been our bridge lifter and our rope tire, and thank you very much for Jeff for giving up his afternoon to film and basically edit this vlog. So guys, if you like this vlog, please give it a thumbs up, please write a comment below if you have any questions, and please, please, please subscribe to the channel. That's always very helpful indeed. Until your next vlog, my friends, you stay safe, all the very best.